Hey guys, I'm Andrea and welcome to episode 10 of Careers Are Weird. Guys, I cannot believe we're at double-digit episodes. That's crazy to me. Thank you guys so much for all the messages of love and support over the last 10 weeks. It's meant so much to me, and I love that you guys are loving the content, and thank you to all the guests who said yes so far, and oh my god, I have 21 5-star ratings on Spotify, and that's epic, so yay. Onwards and upwards. I'm going to keep up the consistency and get more of you guys involved. The plan going forward is to get some anonymous, funny corporate stories submitted from you, start getting ready for some video, and figure out how to get my fave LinkedIn on board. So yeah, all good stuff coming, and it's thanks to you guys for listening every week. So big loves to all of you. Let's get into this week's topic because it's been regular feedback from the first couple of interviews with my girls Treya, Reina, Adana, Louise, and Jerry. And that feedback has been, oh my god, their job is so cool, my job is really boring. Careers are weird, fam. Everyone is not doing something cooler than you. So let's go back to the scenario the show was based on. We all get together to hang out, we're all standing around chatting, someone asks, how's work? And you're just like, yeah, it's good. Bit busy right now. Just signed another client, but it's all good. And then you say, cool, good to hear. And you ask them back and they say the same thing. And you move on, not knowing for 1 second what people actually do. Every single job has very cool parts and very boring, mundane parts. And we often only focus on the mundane parts when we make comments like, my job is really boring, when there is in fact fun, purposeful, exciting stuff in our careers. And then we only hear the cool parts when people tell us about their jobs. And I'm a good example because I get to use very cool dashboards to present data that's used for strategic business decisions. And we use that for growth, unlocking new markets, and that's all fun. I love that. Data to strategy to decision making equals fun for me. You know what's not fun? Combing through large data sets to find anomalies in the data, outliers that are skewing the data, and having to randomly stress test some of it. But the reality is, I've got to get through the boring, nerdy stuff to get to the fun, cool stuff, and that's the case for most of us in our jobs. One of my best friends, who gets to organize and orchestrate some of the coolest record-breaking stunts like jumping out of planes and jumping off of buildings and fun, super cool stuff like that, also has an app on her phone called Windy and has to sit and study the wind speed, which in my head is such a snooze fest because it's like, is it 37 knots per hour? Is it 38 knots per hour? I'm just making those numbers up. But like, without that boring part of her job, her epic stunt projects don't happen. So if I think about it from what I know about my job, her job, and then some of the feedback from you guys, I realize we got to talk about two things: the reality and the highlight reel. So, the reality of work. Every job, regardless of the industry, has a mixture of exciting, mundane, and challenging tasks, especially around this age we're at. No matter how cool you get to be or like how big a win you get at work, we're all brought back to the reality of sending emails, trying to schedule meetings with conflicting calendars, and then needing to send some sort of budget or proposal or quotation to someone that ultimately brings us back to like our Microsoft Office parts of our job. Like, then we got the highlight reel. LinkedIn especially, and I'm on LinkedIn a shocking portion of my day. It's only the highlight reel. You'll post a promotion, but never the burnout and super long hours that it took to get that promotion. You post a big client signing, but not the months of back and forth on emails and legal and commercials and the confidentiality nonsense you have to go through. So social media and casual conversations often highlight only the exciting parts of jobs, and that creates a skewed perception, i.e., everyone is doing something cooler than me. All right, so let's fix this. Everyone is doing something cooler than me mindset. First up, mundane tasks exist, but understanding how these tasks connect to the larger purpose and goals of your company or your job can make a world of difference. In theory, every role within a company serves a larger purpose. Even the most routine tasks are part of a bigger picture. For instance, if you're in data entry, and I'll always bring the examples back to data because that's my thing. You know, it might seem repetitive, but accurate data is critical for like informed decision making within the company. Without precise data, the company could make costly mistakes. Now, as head of data, one, I understand the need and value of those mundane tasks in data entry. I understand how it's beneficial to my role, but also I know that I'm not asking my team to do something I can't do myself because I've done it before. So think about it. Your work, no matter how small it seems, is a vital piece of the puzzle of your company. And I was looking around when I was thinking about this episode, and there's so many examples in many roles that we either do or we interact with. And I've pulled some examples for us. Like, if you're in customer service, answering the same questions day in and day out might feel tedious. But every time you help a customer resolve an issue, you're enhancing their experience with the company and building customer loyalty. And then if you're not in customer service, you've definitely interacted with someone in customer service before, and you know the difference between a good customer service agent versus a bad one and how it makes your own brand loyalty. Or if you're involved in product development, the tedious testing phases, they're repetitive and they're boring, but they're so crucial to ensuring the final product is safe and effective. And then seeing the product launch successfully and knowing that you played a part in that is incredibly rewarding. And another one was for healthcare professionals. The paperwork and administrative tasks are overwhelming, but they ensure patients receive the best care. When you see a patient recover and thrive, it's like those mundane tasks, they're put into good perspective because good paperwork eliminates error. And, well, no one ever put themselves through med school to do paperwork, right? And oh my God, a great example from yesterday. So I had physio on my ankle, and my physio, Lucas, has to input the injury into his computer and the progress report and whatever. And it's like, okay, left ankle, medial side, blah, blah. And then as soon as he got his hands onto my ankle and could start working on it, he was so happy. He was having fun, literally feeling the ankle loosen up, finding those really painful spots. And that wouldn't have been possible if he didn't do the admin note-taking stuff that he had to do. And of course, let's not forget professional growth. Mundane tasks often provide the foundation for developing skills that will be valuable in your career. So by mastering these tasks, you build a stronger skill set that prepares you for more complex and rewarding challenges in the future. And guys, it's crazy because these episodes are also reflections for me because some of you know we have a wholesale, like a small grocery in Jamaica. My dad started it when I was 16, and by default, I ended up as a weekend cashier there. I hated it. Could I do it? Yes, I'm very much capable of scanning a barcode, getting the total, collecting some cash, making change, and handing over a receipt. Did I enjoy it? No, I was 16 and 17 and I was feeling way too cool for life. It taught me things though. Now I only look at the sales and inventory reports, but somehow that time as cashier helped me understand the source of the data for the sales and inventory reports. Also, we now have staff. When it comes to hiring and retention, I know what's being asked of them, I know what it requires, and I know I'm fundamentally not ever asking them to do something I can't do myself. That knowledge of the boring cashier stuff does impact my ability to do other things now that I'm 10 years older. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. So that's all about uncool stuff leading to cooler stuff. And it's all great, it's all well and good. You know how to do it all, but there's still too much boring stuff and too little of the stuff that brings a big old smile to your face. This is where conversations matter, and being able to communicate and advocate for yourself really, really matters. You guys know how I feel about being proactive with talking to your bosses and scheduling that catch up. You can't fix a problem if no one knows there's a problem. So you have to take charge of your career. Communicate openly, often, and constructively. If you've got problems to bring to the table, bring solutions as well. So how we do this? Let them know which tasks you enjoy and which ones you find less engaging. During the conversation, be constructive. Instead of just highlighting what you don't like, propose solutions or alternatives. So for instance, if you love working on strategy projects but find data entry tedious, suggest ways to automate some of the data entry tasks, or see if there's a way to shift more of your focus towards the strategy aspects of your role, or even if there's budget to hire a data entry intern. Now, you might think this will come across as complacent and whiny, but truthfully, many managers appreciate when employees take the initiative to discuss their career goals and job satisfaction. It shows that you're invested in your role and in the company's success. So start by setting up a meeting and preparing some talking points about what aspects of your job you find most and least enjoyable. Be specific and provide examples, because this isn't just about offloading tasks you dislike. It's about finding a balance that enhances your productivity and job satisfaction. And also, by focusing more on what you enjoy, you're likely to be more engaged and perform better, which benefits both you, your boss, and your company. This could lead to a more tailored job role that better suits your strengths and interests, but you have to start the conversation. All of this to say, everyone isn't doing cooler things than you, because you're doing cool things too. They're just kind of hidden by the boring stuff, and when they say comparison is a thief of joy, they mean when you compare your job to someone else's, you compare your mundane parts to their cool parts. I had to do my homework for this episode, so now you've got to do yours. Take some time to list down every task you do, the aspects of your job that you enjoy and find fulfilling, and the certain tasks that are draining your energy. Get your thoughts and notes together and set up a conversation with your boss about how your role could be adjusted. There is always a way to delegate or streamline some tasks so you can focus more on what you're passionate about. And lastly, I want to be talking to more of you. Every role has its unique moments that bring joy and satisfaction, and I'm sure you have great stories to tell, so whatever it is, I want to hear about it. Your experiences can inspire others and show that every job has its rewarding aspects. I'm going to create a submission form. You'll have the choice to be anonymous or not, but you can also DM me on Instagram. I'll be featuring some of these stories in future episodes, so your input could help someone else see their job in a whole new light. That's it for this week. Please follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen, and until next Wednesday, stay weird and stay ambitious, my friends.